I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, to train them is my cause. Hey, it's Katie, and I love Pokemon. I remember the first time I ever saw Pokemon. When you're a kid, you don't really get a lot of mail. So when you get a piece of mail, you're like, oh, this is the greatest day of my life. So one time, I got this VHS tape in the mail, and I was so excited I had mail of my own, had my name on it. I was so excited for that. So the tape was for this new show called Pokemon. I got together with my friends, we put it in the player, we started watching it, and it ended up being like a teaser trailer for the series. And they showed this scene. Now, if you're a real Pokemon fan, you're gonna know exactly the scene that I'm talking about. So this video starts. Ash is on a bike, and he's pedaling and pedaling and pedaling, and it's pouring rain. There's like a huge thunderstorm, there's lightning, it's very frightening, and Ash is pedaling and he's so upset, and you're like, why is this kid upset? He's got Pikachu in the little front basket of the bike, and he's pedaling and pedaling. He's like, hold on, Pikachu! Well, he ends up hitting a rock, and they all go flying. They land on the ground. Pikachu goes like bouncing, and he's like, no, Pikachu! And he like goes over there and he like cradles him in his arms, and little Pikachu's got like little lightning bolts coming out of his cheeks, and you're like, this is like the saddest thing ever. What is wrong with this little Pokemon? It's so dang cute. So then, with Pikachu in his arms, he's like running and running in the rain. You're like, what is this? And it ends there. It ends with him carrying Pikachu in the rain during this thunderstorm, and you're like, I want to know what happens. And it says, to find out what happens, you have to watch this show. And as a kid, I was like, oh, I have to find out what happens to Pikachu. That was my first moment of watching Pokemon. It hooked me right from the start. It was awesome. I loved that trailer for Pokemon. And then obviously when the show came on, I watched it and I was obsessed. I was so obsessed with Pokemon that not only did I collect the cards, but I had stuffed animals, I had pillows. Burger King had a promotion where they were actually giving out Pokemon that came in Pokeballs. And it was the coolest thing ever to me. I collected them all. I still have them somewhere. I had like 50 of these Pokemon that came inside the ball, and then like some of them were keychains. It was awesome. Like, I was so obsessed. It was just such a good show. I enjoyed that show, and I still enjoy it to this day. Watching it back, it just brings up all these childhood memories. I used to know the entire Poke-Rap. I knew all of the Pokemon in order. I was awesome as a kid. I wish I still knew the Poke-Rap. That'd be awesome. So, I was going through my closet the other day and I found this. These are my cards. I was collecting Pokemon cards for a long time as a kid. These aren't even all of them because I know I have a box somewhere in my house back home. So this is just a little bit of them, and I was so funny as a kid. I opened it up and my Pokemon are all labeled by their class. So you know you have your like electric Pokemon, psychic Pokemon, your fire Pokemon, and all of these have like 5 cards in each slot, jam-packed in here. I don't even know what you do with all these Pokemon cards. I think I have like thousands of Pokemon cards. As a kid, it was so nice to have something that I was so involved in. Like, you could collect the cards, you could get the toys, you could get the stuffed animals. You had all these cards, you could play games with your friends, you could watch the show. Then they had Pokemon movies. I loved the movies. It was their way of introducing new Pokemon, which in the movies were really cool. As a kid, I loved the movies, but when they started introducing like a whole nother 200 Pokemon, I got really mad. I did. I was mad because I knew the Poke-Rap. I could name all the Pokemon in order, and all of a sudden they're like, oh hey, we're gonna give you 200 more to learn. And as a kid, I was like, no, I want my original Pokemon. These are the original. I don't want new Pokemon. No, I'm not gonna watch it. And I made the decision as a kid to stop watching Pokemon just because of that reason. They added all these new Pokemon and then it wasn't fun anymore, which I'm kind of disappointed about because I still love Pokemon to this day and I wish I didn't stop watching it. I can understand how 6-year-old Katie was feeling because it sucks when you have all these Pokemon that you know so well and you know exactly what they do, who has them. Like, you could name all of Misty's Pokemon, you could name all of Brock's Pokemon. All of a sudden they give you 200 new ones? That was tough. I feel like watching Pokemon for the first time was such a great experience, and it's something that I'll always remember. But I want to hear from you guys. What was your Pokemon experience like? Were you like me and loved the original Pokemon, or do you like the newer generations of Pokemon? Let me know in the comments below. So my friend Andre, Black Nerd Comedy, did a video talking about how he hates Pokemon. How can you hate Pokemon? Go check out his video and tell him how wrong he is and how much you guys love Pokemon and how awesome it is. And I want to hear about it too. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, I almost forgot. You can now get my Lindsey Sterling dubstep parody kazoo song and Getting Fragged on iTunes. So go check it out. Leave me a review if you feel like it. Tell me how awesome the songs are. Okay, bye. Hey, thanks for watching my video. You can find me on Twitter and Facebook, and you can also check out my previous video over here. And always don't forget to like and subscribe.